Welcome, everybody. This is DC Sports for Life. I'm B.
And I'm D.
That's right. And if you could hear the intro music, it's been a while. I think it's been probably about 3 weeks since we put something out. So we wanted to finally get our laziness on here. We'll say that it's going to be a lot more now the football season is getting geared up.
Oh, yeah.
So we will be posting a lot more videos. We'll have at least one, maybe a couple guests on, and then I'll do some solos just whenever I feel like it. Throw them on there. I don't know. I didn't tell you this earlier, but maybe you have to scramble. But I did get something for my show and tell. So as we do to start off every pod, we have a show and tell. I don't think I've showed this one yet, but this is old school. The little Washington
I
Redskins
like that.
smoked glass, little glasses.
That's tight.
Circa late 60s, early 70s, probably.
Yeah, I got one of those too, man. I remember as a kid, we used to seeing those as a kid,
Yeah, our Papu had them.
Yeah.
And then as we got older, we've had them. I think last time that my wife bought some, I ended up giving some to you because I didn't know how many you had. So I keep those. I have like 6 or 8 of them, I guess, that are obviously most of them packed away, but I had one on my shelf. So I know it was late, so you might not have nothing ready. I'll excuse you this time, but next time you're gonna have to talk to the class.
I'm on it. I'll bring 2 things, homie.
All right. So this pod is going to be when we first did it, we were going to talk about the Nationals trade deadline deals, and we're going to talk about that. But
breaking news.
There was some news.
There's some news, baby.
The news that you, and probably 75 to 80% of Washington football fans have wanted to hear. What's the news, D?
The news that we got that we kind of thought could come to fruition is Stephon Diggs, a University of Maryland grad.
Yes.
Local product, 5th round draft pick, self-made man, has agreed to a 1-year, up to $12 million deal.
Yes.
With the Washington Commanders. He comes in really as the number 2. Maybe even a 1B.
Right.
Very productive last year. He had 85 catches last year for 1,013 yards. He had 4 touchdowns. He was Drake May's number 1 weapon last year. He's still very productive, can still play at a high level at his age. Very excited about this move. We have been yearning for a number 2 receiver. Shall I say this again? We have been yearning for a number 2 receiver. He is the quintessential number 2 receiver with where he's at in his career right now. High volume guy, runs great routes, great hands, has wiggle. And again, local product. We love him. Yes. University of Maryland. Couldn't be happier. You get Jaden Daniels, another weapon under his rookie deal.
Yep.
To add with Chig and McLaurin and Antonio Williams and the other players that we have on the team. Very excited. Very excited.
Yes. And I'll add to that that little part you were talking about his stats and stuff. Only played 55% of the snaps.
Yes.
So didn't have a huge workload. Obviously, just over half of the plays he was in on, coming off of ACL last year, and still put up those numbers. I think it's amazing. I think this is what we talked about for a long time. I think I've said it on the pod before. I think I even said sign him and Ayuk before I found out Ayuk was absolutely crazy. So I think I'm done on that aspect of it. But yeah, I mean, you cannot have too much talent. If you have the money, get the player. He was interested in coming here. It's close to home. Um, I did hear like yesterday that the hang up was that he wanted a 2 year deal and
Right.
nobody wanted to give him a 2 year deal. So that's one of the things we were going to talk about today. And then lo and behold, he signs a 1 year deal.
He
So
signs a 1 year deal. Yep.
super amazing, super happy. Don't think it will take any time to get him acclimated. Um, I just I can't express how happy I am with Adam Peters getting that deal done. I
Yeah.
would much rather have him for up to 12 than Debo for 7. And no slight on Debo. I'm not talking trash
No.
about Debo there. Debo did his thing for us
Uh,
last year, but
yeah.
he doesn't fit this system. He is not
No.
built for this system while
Mm-mm.
Diggs is. Diggs
Yeah.
can get open in this system. He can be, in the slot on the outside. You can move him around to places. He can catch over the middle. He's not going to burn past anybody. But that's why you have McLaurin as one of your deep threats. So it gives you a lot more options. And my thing has always been, what if an injury happens? You know, you
Yeah.
sit there and say, okay, yes, we love that we got Antonio Williams in third round. Think he's going to be really good. Luke McCaffrey is having a heck of a camp. Just especially the last 2 days, he's been tearing it up.
He's been tearing it up.
Like Treylon Burks when he's healthy. Um, but you know, injuries happen. So
Yeah.
you go into the year without Diggs, you let him sign with somebody else, and then you have an injury in preseason, first part of the year, and it's to, I mean, like Luke got hurt last year, Burks got hurt last year, um, McLaurin
Yeah.
coming off of the contract dispute,
He got hurt.
with the hamstring injury. I mean, we were down to Chris Doodoo Moore and Robbie
Yeah.
Chosen off the couch. I mean,
Yeah.
they Adam Peters did right. This
Yeah.
offseason, the only complaint that I really, really have is center.
Yes. I was about to say that.
Th-
Yep.
That's really the only thing I can complain about. I think they've tried to
Yep.
address everything else. Yes, I would have liked to spend more money and get a top-notch corner. They didn't do it,
Yeah. Nope.
but you, you can't fix everything in one off season. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
So, but I think overall, when you look at what he's done this offseason, he has put Jaden Daniels in a position to succeed, to make us, to me, a minimum of a playoff team. Um, and then once you get JD5 in the playoffs, as he's shown, you never know what can happen.
Yeah. Anything can happen. I think that everything's trending right. We talked about this. The off season was great. The big concern, and we talked about it again, the center position. We'll see how that unfolds.
Yeah.
But getting the weapons we got, bringing in Chig to get yourself a really good athletic pass catching tight end.
Yes.
Obviously the signing of Stephon Diggs.
Mhm.
Obviously drafting Antonio Williams, who again he's a rookie, so with rookies you never really know. But the way he's trending, his
Right.
skill set,
Yeah.
what he did at Clemson, there's a lot of upside with this young man.
Yeah.
And like you just said, we were talking. You talked about Luke McCaffrey. I was about to say it myself. If you look at the depth chart, he's penciled in as the number 3 right now. Now, whether that
Yeah.
stays true to form remains to be
Right.
seen. But
Yeah.
he's balling out right now.
He is. He is. And you know
Yeah,
what? And that's about the right time when you look at it.
yeah.
When he got drafted, and we weren't loving it either. When we watched the
No.
draft, we were like, this dude's a project. Only been playing wide
Yep.
receiver for 2 seasons. Um,
Yep.
it was going to take him a couple years to get it. Um, he's been a pleasant surprise at kick returner. If he would have
Yes.
finished out the year, I believe he would have finished as one of the best kick returners, if not the best kick returner in the league,
Yep.
stat wise. So yeah, I think he's doing what he needs to do, and he's doing what he should do at this point of his career, where he's showing he understands how to get open, and his hands are as like last year against what was it, San Diego, I think. He had that long bomb down the middle from
Oh, that incredible catch. Yeah.
incredible, like
Yeah.
fingertips stretched out,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
like boom, just
Yep.
caught it, man. Dude can play, and I think everybody, if you're a Washington, oh, obviously you're gonna be a Washington fan watching this, but if you're a Washington fan watching this, I think if you're worried about him, I'm kind of like, I think he's fine. I think he's going to be good, and he's probably going to get a second contract from us when the time comes, and he could legitimately step into, you know, a number two role after Diggs is gone next year.
Yeah, that's quite possible. And then, like I said, you got Antonio Williams who could step in to the slot role. Obviously he'll get through his rookie year and hopefully unscathed and healthy and learn the pro game. But
Yeah,
he's got the skill set and the pedigree, comes from a big time program. So you hope that he can build, and then going into his second year, maybe he can kind of get the lock on the slot position.
yeah,
Time remains to be seen on that, and we'll see how
yeah,
that plays out. Um, and I wanted to say, because we've been talking about the offense, I wanted to pivot real quick to how they're saying the defense has looked.
right,
And I'm hearing good things about that as well. I've been
yeah,
following that, seeing that. They're talking about, Sonny Styles is a man child, and he's showing out, he's showing his athleticism. But the general theme here, and we talked about this. When the season was over, we said, look, we have to get younger and more athletic.
yeah,
And we did that. Now, if it translates on the field or not, that remains to be seen.
right,
But as far as getting younger, more athletic, and more pass rush, Adam Peters did a great job of getting the personnel to fit that mold.
yeah,
Now we just have to see it on Sundays. We
right,
have to see it translate on Sundays. But he did all he needed to do to get better, younger, more athletic personnel.
yep. Yep. And then we're going to save the rest of the Washington talk for another pod because we'll get into sort of the training camp fights and
Oh yeah, yeah.
what we're looking at. So we'll do that probably this weekend. And we'll
That's
do a
cool.
full pod just straight out on Washington training camp.
Yeah,
Because I do want to get into that. But I do want to get into the Nationals, the trades that they made.
yep,
You have the information on the first big trade, which was Luis Garcia to the
yeah,
Yankees for four
yep.
players.
For four
Um,
players. Yep. So
so let me
so
hear.
yeah, so a couple of days ago, of course, we all know Luis Garcia got traded. We ended up getting four arms. Bottom line, we got Jake Bird, of course, right-handed reliever with some major league experience. Ben Grable, number 25 pitching prospect on the Yankees. We ended up getting Giovanni Cruz, another right-handed reliever, and of course Jack Siebert, who was the 14th ranked prospect in the.
I lost you. I can't hear you.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
Nah, I'm sorry about that. My mistake. We're good. We're good. All right.
Okay.
So anyway, it's sort of a coin flip on my way of feeling about this because the Nationals have kind of run into it. They've lost seven in a row now. They're kind of starting to come back down to reality now.
Right.
We weren't going to re-sign all the players that are playing at a high level now, realistically. But you hate to lose Garcia because he was really developing into a hell of a player. But there's two sides to this. Do you keep Garcia or do he's having his best year as a pro. They got four pitchers, nothing earth-shattering. You just hope one or two can stick. Again, you got two prospects, got two right-handed relievers, and now you just have to hope that one or two of them stick. I mean,
Right.
that's really what it comes down to, realistically. Obviously, we need relief pitching. Relief pitching has been our crux all season long. And you just hope that some of these guys, you hope that the prospects can develop. You're not all of them are going to develop, but you
Right.
just hope that one or two can, and you get some better arms. And that's what it comes down to.
Right. I'm gonna save my talk because it's gonna basically be for all of them. So
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna get into um, well, first I want to get into what bum ass Bleacher Report wrote about
Uh-huh.
the trade. So this is what's the guy's name? Joel Reuter, like Reuters,
Yeah, Joe Ruder. Yeah.
yeah, don't like him.
Yeah, they were
But
talking about that too. Yeah.
he's a bum. So here's his write up
Yeah.
on this trade. It's not often a four prospect package for a controllable player features three relief pitchers. That said, Jake Bird has had MLB success before, while Ben Grable and Giovanni Cruz both have late inning potential. Right-hander Jack Siebert is the centerpiece, enjoying a breakout season a year after going in the 14th round in the 2025 draft. The 24-year-old has a 4.03 ERA with 96 strikeouts in 82.2 innings and has seen his velocity tick up since his 4-year collegiate career. Sounds like a pretty good write-up, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
sounds pretty good. Grade D,
Yeah.
a D.
Yep.
So,
I did. Yep.
yeah, I'm not going to say what I want to say. D stands for him. Um,
Yeah.
but so that's on that one. That's all I'm going to say on that right now. I'm going to get
Yeah.
into the first trade real quick. We traded
Yeah.
Curtis Mead for
Yep.
Connolly Early, six
Yep.
foot three, 195-pound left-hander. Um, and believe he was on the IL with something very minor. Um, I believe. Um, but he's out of University of Virginia. Um, in 2026, he was 7-5 with a 3.44 ERA in the majors. So
Yeah.
for Curtis Mead, who unfortunately broke his wrist the first game that he played for them, um, for Curtis Mead, we end up getting a pitcher to slot right into our rotation.
Yep.
That is only 24 years old. So, heck of a trade there. I think Taboni nailed it with that. Um, and that's great. So the next trade, and I think I got the one for that Christian
For
kid
Irvin.
too. What's the Orioles one?
Oh yeah.
Can't remember which. I got one, two, three, four, five. So he's one of these guys. So Josh Hartle, I have it right here actually. Josh Hartle, Mitchell, and then this one. Okay, Glassy is the one we got. Okay. So Josh Hartle, Nick Mitchell, a right-handed pitcher. No, Nick Mitchell's an outfielder. Josh Hartle, starting pitcher, relief pitcher, Kendaglis Verghese.
Yeah.
That's not his name. Sorry for you. And relief pitcher Will Dion. Okay. So, um, before we get into the thing, we'll do the grades from Mr. Reuter, who I say he's Roto Reuter. None of these prospects cracked the top 30 in Baseball America's latest update to Cleveland's organizational top prospect list following the 2026 MLB draft. The best of the bunch is Josh Hartle, who has a 3.86 ERA, 1.38 whip, 88 strikeouts in 93.1 innings at Double-A, and his ceiling is a back-end starter. A wholly uninspiring return for an all-star, even if he is a rental, and the Nationals might have been better off just holding on to him and trying to win a few more games. Grade F.
Mhm.
I cannot say how much I despise this guy at this point in time. You have a reliever, I mean, you have a starter who was kicked out of the major leagues. He couldn't make it.
Nope.
Went to Japan, reinvented himself for 3 years. We took a shot on him, signed him for $5.5 million. You're overachieving. Everybody in the world knows our bullpen is trash and our starting pitching is very minimal.
Yep.
And you get three arms and an outfielder. Doesn't matter that they're top 30 or not, but you get three arms and an outfielder for this rental for half a year, and you're going to give it an F. To me, you don't know baseball.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
can
I agree. I
he
don't see
can
how it could be an F. I mean,
yeah,
that's
I don't get it. But we can get
yeah.
into the guys. Josh Hartle, like he said, he's kind of the guy. He was drafted in 2024
Mhm.
from the Pirates, round 3, pick 83 overall. He's got 19 games. He's out of Wake Forest, ACC.
Yep.
19 games, 4-4, 3.86 ERA. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with this. He goes right to double A and he can slot in, you know, as a starting pitcher that might be able to help you next year. Um, Will Dion, um, he is played at McNeese State. He was selected in the ninth round in the 2021 draft. And I don't have all his stats here. This one I got to read it. I'll just read the most recent. 2026, he was assigned to Columbus, where he posted a 3-0 record with a 4.5 ERA, 36 strikeouts over his 15 appearances. Uh, so, a relief guy that you can bring in that is another lefty. So, lefties are at a premium, you know.
Yes.
So, I like that. Um, Double A again, you got the Kendaglis Verghese.
Yeah.
Um, Born in 2004 in Venezuela. So he's what, 22 years old, just turned 22 in May. 2026 stats in 25 games. He's 4-1 with a 4.13 ERA, and he's got 28 innings pitched. He's got 45 strikeouts. So the dude is a right-handed pitcher, and he's somebody that obviously has strikeout stuff. At least in the minors. And then
Yeah.
finally, you pick up an outfielder for good measure. Nick Mitchell, center fielder, right fielder, left fielder, plays all, bats left, throws right. Um, 22 years old, born in 2003. He'll turn 24 here in September. Drafted by Toronto Blue Jays in the fourth round in 2024 from Indiana. Um, and let's see what his latest right here, 26. He has 75 games played, 329 plate appearances, 66 hits, 14 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs, 39 RBIs, 19 stolen bases, and 48 walks. So not too bad.
No, not at all.
Not the great batting average. He was batting like 240 something. See, I scroll this over. 240 for his batting average right now. But those are the 4 guys you get for a half-year rental for Foster Griffin. And oh, by the way, Paul Taboni said today they offered him a multi-year contract that he turned down. So
Yep.
all of the
Yep.
all of the fans out there that were complaining and whining, it just doesn't make any sense to complain and whine. The
No.
learners aren't spending any money. Paul Taboni is basically having to be Billy Bean. He's going to have to, use these rental players. He's going to have to. I know that's why they signed, like Zach Lytle, who they cut today. They signed
Yep.
him to try to go ahead and hopefully drum up interest at the trade deadline. Um, and nobody bit. So they designate him for assignment today. Why they didn't do that with Miles Mikolas, I don't know. Because
Yeah.
even though his name sounds Greek and he's a homeboy, then he's terrible. Um,
Yeah.
he's worse than Lytle. At least Lytle had like a stretch in May to June where he was actually dominant.
Hmm.
Mikolo stinks every time he's out there. Um,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of how many runs he's going to give up. And usually the answer is 4 to 6. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
it's bad. So hopefully they get rid of that dude. But I'm just saying, anytime you get 4 players that are different levels, some of them with major league experience, some of them in double A, which everybody knows it's like triple A doesn't mean that you're going to the majors. Triple A is like for people who are just stuck. You know, that
Yeah,
they're
right.
too good.
They
They
can't get up
can't
to the
get,
bigs.
yeah, they
Yeah,
can't get in the majors, you know, so
right.
they're just stuck there. Double A is where Juan Soto came from.
Yep.
It's where James Wood came from. It's where Cruz came
Yep.
from. You know, all these
Yep.
guys, they jump from double A up because
Yep.
triple A isn't necessarily that much better. Um,
No.
so when you sit there and say you got double A arms, fine. Look at the organization and look at the lack of talent in our bullpen. We were like signing guys off the scrap heap every week. People who were designated for assignment, we would snatch them up and give them a try. And all of
Yep.
them stink. That's why they were cut. But we were trying to hope they were better than what we had, and they weren't. Um, so now you get what was it, a total of 8 or 9? I think
Yeah.
it's 8 pitchers.
Yeah, they got eight
Um,
arms. They got eight
Eight
arms.
arms.
Yep.
Well, I think it's 9 now with the Orioles trade. One, two,
Oh,
three.
the Orioles trade. It was eight before the Orioles
It was
trade.
8
Yeah.
before the Orioles trade. So we get nine pitchers out of
Yeah.
these trades. So anybody that's crying about it, get over it, man. The learners aren't
Yeah.
spending money. Dude has to take some chances on some guys. And who cares if they're top 30? There's plenty of dude. Freaking Juan Soto wasn't a top 30 player. Nobody knew who he
Nah.
was. He came out
Nope.
of absolutely out of nowhere. So there's
Yep.
plenty of guys that come out of nowhere that end up tearing it up in the major leagues, especially pitchers. So,
Yep.
he went quantity over quality. Yeah, he probably could have got one of their top 10 picks for Foster Griffin, one of their top 10 players in the minors. He probably would have got one of those. But he got four that can help. They don't have to be number one starters.
Mm.
You got four guys that can help. And like you always say, sometimes quantity is better than quality, you know,
Yep.
or like you say, more bites of the apple, you know.
Yep. Yep.
So that's what he did, and I'm thoroughly ecstatic with what he did. I'm hoping that the learners end up selling the team, but evidently there's with the collective bargaining agreement, from what I've heard from different people, is they're waiting until the collective bargaining thing is done, and they think they're going to get more money that way because I guess more revenue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
That's.
I
I'm
hope
hearing
that
the
gets
same.
done. I hope they don't lock out. I hope that gets done, and we can go on and get an ownership group that is actually cares about putting a product on the field. Last guy was
Definitely.
Joe Glassy. That was the
Yeah.
Orioles trade where we traded
That was
an
Orioles.
outfielder that we had a plethora of, which they just brought up Pinkney. So Pinkney came up. They traded off Christian Franklin, I think it was, who was having a good year.
Mm-hmm.
This guy Glassy is a right-handed pitcher, 6'3", 225 pounds, 220 pounds, 25 years old. 24 games this year. He's 3-0 with a 2.64 ERA. In 30 innings, he has 53 strikeouts
Yeah.
with a 1.11 whip. So, he Taboni saw what everybody else saw, that our pitching staff throughout, I mean, the minors evidently is trash.
Yep.
And he worked it around to do these 1, 2, 3, 4 trades and
Yeah.
got 9 arms to put into the system.
Yep.
And a
Nine
couple of
arms in the system.
yeah, and a couple of them, like I said, that like the Yankees ones, I think a couple of them are like in the majors. So,
Right. Two of them were in the majors.
and
Yeah.
Early, whatever his name is, he's when he comes off the IL, he's going to be major leagues. So that's 3
Yep.
major league arms, and you got 6 minor league arms. So
Yeah.
everybody can leave me with that stuff about how, oh, boo-hoo, they're selling again, and when is it time, and all that. He's got to do what he's got to do. And he didn't
Yep.
trade off Wood. He didn't trade
Nope.
off Abrams. You know,
Nope.
I don't think you could get much better than this. And like I said, that you said it, that 7-game slide, which was 5 at the time.
At the time, yeah.
I mean, It wasn't. We were at this point we were playing with house money in my
Yeah.
estimation because we were doing a lot better than what anybody figured we would do.
Yeah. No, I agree. 100% agree with you. I think that to me, the writing on the wall was about a month ago when we played the Phillies at home, and we literally lost three straight games in the ninth inning.
Yeah,
And that's when the writing was on the wall that, okay, things are going to start to kind of, and we kind of still had some good, series after that, but that was kind of the writing on the wall.
yeah,
And then this latest series with the Phillies, it is not going good.
no,
Um, but my point, though, that I was saying is that last series with the Phillies in Washington, where we
right.
lost three straight games in the
Yeah,
ninth inning,
yeah,
that was gave up leads, and that to me was the writing on the wall. We
yeah,
have to get arms. We have to get better pitchers. We need a better pipeline of arms in the our farm system. Taboni's doing what he can to do that. Like
yeah,
you said, the learners aren't spending money, so you got to get creative, and that's what
yeah,
he's doing. He's getting creative, and that's all you
yeah,
can ask for.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
when you have a first year manager, you have a first year GM. Um, yes, you can look at it and say, "Oh wow, we're 500. We go two games over, we go a game under. We go to 500. We go a game over,
yeah,
we go two games under, we go to 500." Sorry, if you're excited about that, maybe you're not aiming high enough. I mean,
yeah,
I'm okay with it. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was great. I look at the stats all the time. I look at, the box score, see who's doing what. Obviously, I'm in here in Arizona, so I can't watch the games. But, I mean, that's one of the things. I'm like, yeah, that's good. They're doing good. But our core guys are young. So you
yeah,
need to put pieces in place that may work out. And doing these trades, Taboni is taking flyers on all these guys, and some of them might have a chance to be really good and be staples in the rotation. Staples maybe you find yourself a closer. Maybe
yeah,
you find yourself a eighth inning leverage guy. So, that's one of the things that I just think that, I understand people are sick of losing. I understand, since the World Series, we've been terrible. I don't put that, I put that on two things. I put that one on the ownership group for not wanting to spend the money. And I put that two on Rizzo. Um,
yeah,
our farm system was a travesty. Um, I don't know. I mean, trade wise, he usually did good trades. But as far as looking at the draft and drafting guys who were going to come in and help, he's been horrible. I mean, absolutely
yeah,
horrible. I mean, other than you take Bryce Harper, who was a no-brainer. You take, Steven Strasburg. I don't even know if he's the one that drafted him. Maybe he did. But like the guys, what I'm saying is the guys that he drafted were what they were supposed to be. You know, um,
yep,
where you make your money at in any draft is after the first round, after the guys that are the can't miss type of guys. When you get into the second, fourth, fifth in baseball, you go to freaking 15 rounds, however far you go. That's where you make your money. Get these guys in there and get them in there. Sign the guys from the Dominican, do all this. It's just been very lackluster from Rizzo. So I blame him and I blame the ownership group.
yeah. I agree with that, 100%, 100%. And Taboni's trying to make he's trying to make lemonade out of lemons,
Yeah.
and he's doing what he can.
Yeah.
And it is kind of frustrating from here and there, but again, you're trying to build up your farm system, a better pipeline of young prospects, and the key word here, prospects. In baseball, it's prospects.
Yes.
And the bottom line, and you said it yourself, you don't have to be a top 10 or a top 15 prospect to always make it.
Right.
People from outside of the top 30 and top 40 of quote prospects make it all the time. We
All the
see it
time.
all the time.
Yep.
So you get yourself, like I like to say, like you like to say to me, I like to say, more bites of the apple.
Right.
And hopefully these guys can develop, and maybe one of two of them stick, and you get a guy that can be a staple, like you said, on a team, and we're actually contending, hopefully in a year or two. So,
Yeah. Yep. All right, so I think we're going to go ahead and cut it there. Like I said, we're going to do a pod again this weekend, just talking about Commanders, training camp, some training camp battles,
Yeah,
what everybody thinks, maybe how Stephon Diggs looks
yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
coming in. So we'll do that this weekend. Today is what is Wednesday. It's 4:18 my time, so it's 7:18 on the East Coast.
Hmm.
So either Saturday or Sunday, I guess we'll do another one. I have this one posted tonight, and then we'll be able to post this weekend as well, just all Commanders. So uh,
Yeah.
like and subscribe. Tell everybody, tell your family, tell your friends, tell people you hate. Let them know. Come on over and give us a watch. Leave comments, leave likes. If you want to argue about something, more than capable of arguing with you. Don't have a problem with that either. Not like we're
Not at
always
all.
right. Not always right, but mostly right. So,
Yeah,
so
that's right.
thank everybody for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you this
Peace.
weekend.